Are you about to watch this video and you're not liked and subscribed to it? Like the video, please. Just go down. It's right there. It's right there.
I did. I hit it. I hit it. Have you hit it?
Welcome back to Starting
Let's
Nine.
Go.
Episode 269. This is going to be a fun one. We got a lot of shit to talk about in this podcast. Obviously, Miguel Cabrera 500. We have to talk about, I'm going to gush about the Cincinnati Reds. We have the Phillies, Mount Rushmore with Smitty coming up later. Check it out on YouTube. Adam Smith will be joining us. But before we go anywhere with some of the topics that I just mentioned, Dallas.
Yep.
I gotta give you props.
For?
First of all, I'm gonna make fun of you, and then I'm gonna give you props. Which one do you want me to do first?
Oh, I don't think it's gonna matter to me at all.
Just pick a door. Do you want me to make fun of you first, or do you want me to give you props?
I want you to do what you're most comfortable and confident with.
All right, I'm gonna make fun of you first. So Dallas Braden was on Family Feud. It was the MLB Players Alumni.
I'm gonna have to stop you there. I was more than on it, but
I wasn't.
This is your conversation. You can go ahead and phrase it however you'd like.
Yeah. So Dallas Braden, Hunter
this
Pence, David Justice, Burnsy. I can't remember anyone else that was on your team. Who else was on your
Sean
team?
Green, Vince Coleman.
Okay.
Know your teammates.
I don't think they said a word the entire time. So
They didn't have to.
They didn't have to. They were playing against their wives, and Dallas was plugging this thing. He was like, yeah, it's on at 8 p.m., and then it was like Bill Bellamy versus Vivica something. And it was an hour episode, but the first half hour was Bill Bellamy versus Vivica something. Then Dallas's game came on in the second half hour, and Dallas was like, it's like it must be on later tonight. So he shut it the fuck down. The episode still aired when you said it was going to. It just wasn't the first game. They played 2 games in that first episode. So then Dallas was live streaming his episode 3 hours later when it had already aired.
That's only partially true because I went live for the folks here on the West Coast.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah. You're just catering to your people on the West Coast who wanted to
were
see
watching
it
over here. No, the problem with that, Jared, is I can't really watch it live at the East Coast time because I can't fucking watch it. So there's no way for me to go live and watch.
Wait, so it wasn't on TV over there?
Not over here when it's on over there.
Weren't you streaming it? Weren't you streaming it?
From the website.
Okay.
So I have to, I'm using my provider, which is DirecTV, and I am on a West Coast slate. So everything that I can watch is on West Coast time. And my issue came from, Family Feud, pumping it out 8, 7 Central. So my whole brain works like this.
Well, it still aired. I saw it. I saw it when you said 8.
Well, right, because this is where the mass confusion comes into play. Okay, just bear with me here. Mm-hmm. If I tell you something starts at 8, and I give you 8, 7 Central, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, you're giving me the latest time possible, which is 8 East Coast, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. That's how my mind works. So if you're giving me 8, 7 Central, well, what are you doing? You're starting with a West Coast time at 8 and then throwing a Central time 7? Well, that's not true. You would have to reverse that. So when I hear 8, 7 Central, I'm thinking 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. Notice how all those times line up? Mm-hmm. So I was completely lost. I had no idea. And then somebody tells me, oh, no, anytime you see time like that, it's referencing the local time. Mm-hmm. And that threw me a bigger curveball because of what I just said. Yeah. So if I see 8, 7 Central on the West Coast time, you're telling me that's 8 o'clock West Coast, 7 Central? What the fuck?
Yeah.
How confusing.
So was that the single greatest performance in Fast Money history?
Yes, it was.
Has anyone ever gotten to 200 points? It had to. Someone had to have done that.
So in Celebrity Family Feud. So in the regular Family Feud, and Steve Harvey himself made this distinction. I have pictures that I'll be posting later of myself and Steve Harvey because he made it a point to tell me, he was like, yo, that was record-setting shit back there. Like, nobody's ever done that, Celebrity Family Feud. And we were all like, oh, ha, ha. And he was like, I'm serious. I'm serious. He was in his dressing room, and I was like, yo, are you fucking serious? He was like, I'm serious. I'm serious. I wouldn't lie to you. And I was like, Steve, don't lie to me. He was like, I would not lie to you. And I said, well, then, Steve, I'm going to need one of these cards over here. And I made him write out, like, record-setting performance. The best record-setting performance in Celebrity Family Feud history made Steve Harvey sign the fucking picture. And I've had to wait for fucking 2.5, 3 months to be able to post it. But I'll be posting that very shortly.
It was 191 points.
Out of 200.
Out of 200 were accrued by Dallas Braden.
Just
Incredible.
Pure and utter domination.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't surprised. Like, I didn't see that and say, well, that's not something that I thought would be happening. I was very happy. It was one of those, like, very I don't know if aesthetically pleasing is the right term, but, like, when you're watching something that's completely out of your control and then everything just happens the way that you want it to, it's just got that very positive, pleasing vibe to it. And I was like, all right, if they do fast money, like, you've got to go Dallas here, right? Like, there's 6 options, and, like, Hunter Pence was the number 1 guy. You were the number 2 guy. I was like, don't let Pence go first. You got to let Dallas go first. Even though I think it would have been very funny if you were the second guy and you came up with all the number 1 answers, but Pence already had the number 1, so you were just struggling to think of, like, a second option. Like, that would have been funny to see how you reacted on television. But 191 points, very impressive. Very impressive stuff.
I wonder if the talent scouts for the dozen are going to catch wind of that. I wonder if I earn a spot. Wonder if I earn a spot on the Fame Trivia Show. I don't know, Jared. One can only hope, huh?
You don't want to do that.
It was. Oh no. Come on. You can tell I'm being super serious here. It was a great time. It was a a wonderful time. Enjoyed it against our wives. Side note, when I got there, like, you got to take COVID tests and shit. Like, we'd already taken tests just because of playing and calling games. So I'd already taken 2 tests that week. But I get there and take another one, and the first one I take, like, inconclusive. I'm like, what? I just took a fucking test 2 days ago, and that was fine. Took one 3 days before that. That was fine. I'm fine. What do you mean inconclusive? So I had to sit in my fucking trailer by myself for like an hour until they could come and get another test and have it administered and have it blah, 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 blah. And then finally I was able to go. So I was like this close to not even being on fucking Family Feud.
I did notice that. When was that filmed?
Like May, June, maybe.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Maybe even before that.
There was a lot of, like, you know, the COVID high fives, like the long distance high fives, and then the more that you guys actually won, you guys were just like, fuck it, like,
yeah.
Mosh pit. We're just getting it on here.
Well, I mean, come on, what are you gonna? You're gonna get a group of ball players together and tell them not to celebrate, not to fucking talk and bullshit. And I mean, bro, it was awesome. Just the first 15, 20 minutes, I'm sitting there standing, talking to David Justice and Vince Coleman, and Vince Coleman's breaking down, like, you know, how he gets leads and things that he was looking for against pitchers, stealing bags and shit. And I'm just like, this is unbelievable. Like, no, I'm not standing 6 feet away, 10 feet away from Vince Coleman right now, dropping this fucking knowledge. I'm eating this shit up right now. I'm in his lap. Get out of here.
It was a good time. I was entertained. I laughed a lot. I cried, celebrated.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good moments on that show.
It's a good time. It was.
Yeah.
Shout out Steve Harvey for being the man.
Yeah. Speaking of good moments, Miguel Cabrera. He did it. Number 500. Very exciting. Very. I thought it was awesome. I mean, the first thing that I noticed was the curtain call in Toronto. I mean, all the good baseball fans up in Toronto giving Miggy his well-deserved curtain call. I know that the Tigers and Miguel Cabrera would have loved to have done it in Detroit.
That's what's heartbreaking for me. I hate that this happened in Toronto. I'm sorry. I know we're celebrating.
Well, I don't love it, but I think that they did the best that they could given the circumstances.
It's not about the fans, and it's okay for me to be angry about this like this because there's nothing wrong with what the Jays fans did. I don't know that another fan base, maybe aside from the Marlins, give him that kind of love. I would like to think so because baseball fans in general understand and appreciate moments like this. So it's not taking away from any other fan base. We should absolutely applaud the Jays fan base for doing what they did and showing Miguel the respect that they did. That's awesome. And honestly, it's that kind of reception. One of the reasons why you play the game, Jared, is your own fans are going to fall in love with you just because you're wearing their colors. But to have an impact on the game to the extent that Miggy has, where it really wasn't going to matter where he hit it, he was going to be loved and he was going to be celebrated, that's awesome. But I really wanted it to be for the Tigers fans, simply because they haven't had what they thought they would get with Miggy there. And this is, I don't want to say a nice consolation prize, but it would be a nice consolation prize. And it's not going to make you forget that the championships didn't happen, but it can be your, like, you'll have this moment. And they don't. But they've got their guy. And I know that when he gets back, the celebration and the ovation is going to be fucking wild.
Yeah.
The dude he's a rare bird, man. A rare bird.
And you know what was really cool was some fans from like Venezuela were reaching out, being like, we can't watch Miguel Cabrera here, so like we follow you guys on social media to see the clips and like the pursuit of 500. Like we're watching that shit on Twitter, and I mean he's obviously a god in Venezuela for what he's been able to do with his big league career coming from there. And I was just curious, you know, anytime that someone that achieves a milestone like that, you go back and you look at the baseball reference page to see like the grand scope of things. And, you know, a dude that for a 19-year big league career is hitting over 300. I believe it's like 311. And his career OPS 922.
North of 900, yeah.
Yeah, 922. And it's like, well, you look at, I think it was 136 players are qualified this season. Only 10 of them have an OPS that's 922 or better. And this dude's been doing it for almost 2 decades now, for an entire career. And, you know, we'll have the conversations. We can have it now if you want, about it's not even a debate. He's one of the best right-handed hitters of his generation. Where does he fall in the debate between Pujols, Cabrera, and Trout's? It's a different generation.
Those conversations, though, Jared, like those conversations can be different, and I believe if you're going to have the conversations, you have to have them with a certain level of respect and a certain level of understanding that, like what I'm about to say, isn't comparing production and isn't comparing value of a player. That's because that stuff can be argued, but ultimately there's facts, there's numbers, right? And if I have 1 home run and you have none, well, I have more home runs than you, and you can call me the home run hitter between the two, and blah, 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 blah. Like it
feels like a shot against Alex Cora.
What's that?
So this feels like a shot against Alex Cora.
Oh, no. So that's a great point. Like, take me and Alex Cora, right? Collegiate players, both college baseball players, both got to the big leagues. Am I going to tell you that I'm a better collegiate hitter than Alex Cora, that I provide more pop than Alex Cora because I hit 1 home run and Alex Cora hit 0? No, that just couldn't be farther from the fucking truth. So
I feel like you try to make that case.
Oh, I will absolutely make that case to him. AC knows who's got the fucking big bat. Don't ever fucking sleep on it. But Miggy, dude, like, there's just feels. There's vibes to guys, okay? And stature, physical stature, has something to do with it. Sometimes it's just skill set. Like, Dustin Pedroia could step in the box. You could feel that little motherfucker just because you know he's got bat to ball. Miggy, the presence, not only physical, but the bat to ball, very aware of it. The bat to ball, the power. He was getting 2 pitches, and still to this day. I mean, the dude, let's not forget, hit a ball out, first game of the fucking year, into the face of a blizzard. Okay? Out to right field. And it was a ball down and in. And that's patented Miguel Cabrera. from the time he was 19 years old. This dude's been getting to high velo shit inside outing it out of the ballpark. That's just a type of threat that other hitters maybe didn't present. And so the production, like we talk about Albert Pujols, and we always talk about folks who want to bury him as an angel, like please go back and just spend 5 minutes and look at what that man did in a St. Louis Cardinal uniform. And you'll understand why he is 1A, whichever side of the coin you want to look at when it comes to right-handed hitters.
Let me ask you this, because I don't know if it's like a cut and dry answer. I think it might be. What would you say? How many years is a player's peak?
Like this is what I think will start to separate guys, and it is their sustained peaks, because we hear about the 7-year, right? And well, peak greatness, 10 years to get into the Hall of Fame. What's your 7-year peak as a Hall of Famer? So if you've got a guy like Miguel Cabrera who's going to play 20-plus seasons and has been doing it, I don't know, for 10, 12, 14 of those, like, do you start that? Maybe you were starting to have a conversation about, like, and I think that happens, the inner circle Hofers, right? But when comparing these two dudes, it's one thing to look at their overall production. Where I'm coming from is just an experience of having faced Miguel Cabrera and understanding and prepared to face a guy like Albert Pujols. My arm fell off before that could happen, but you're looking at I'm looking at numbers. I'm looking at tendencies, and I'm just looking at nitro zones and looking at places where I can go in one guy where I can't go on the other. And, Albert Pujols, what makes Albert so great and has made him so great for a long time is his ability to cut his swing down, his ability to drive the ball the other way in run scoring opportunity scenarios, and also pummel you when necessary. Make it hurt. He could do it all. Miggy could do that too. All right, and then maybe you're having conversations about some of the guys he was surrounded by, as opposed to some of the guys that Albert was. You can go a multitude of ways with this. I just want people to really appreciate what Miggy has been. And I said this in a tweet, like the swing of Albert Pujols, the swing of Miguel Cabrera, the firing position, the balance. That is stuff that's going to be studied for generations. And you don't just fall bass backwards into being that type of hitter, into being that kind of player. So he's going to have 3,000 knocks. He'll get there. He's got 500-plus homers now. I mean, what more can you say about Miguel Cabrera and how it started and how it's going? I mean, it's almost like you can just post the same photo of Miggy. How it started? Smashing balls out of the park, World Series, 19 years old. How it ended. Smashing balls through the fucking teeth of a blizzard, opening day, pitches that nobody else even has business getting to. He's hitting out to the opposite field.
That's how that they can actually fucking see.
That's how it's still going.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't think, we can talk about, like, the whole best hitter of the generation type thing, but I don't even really think it's the time or the place for that. I think that's more of, like, a Hall of Fame conversation than, like, honoring Miggy, because when you do stack up the peaks, it's hard to look at what Albert Pujols did in St. Louis and be like, well, let's have a generational conversation versus, like, an all-time conversation. And you could still do that with Miguel Cabrera for sure. But those are the two guys right there. And people want to limit it to, the best right-handed hitter. Like, no. It doesn't matter what side of the plate Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera are swinging from. Those are two of the greatest hitters, period, of all time.
And there's another guy that you can throw in that conversation for the same reason that Miguel Cabrera has to be in that conversation, and that's Manny Ramirez.
Yeah.
And again, this isn't about total production here. This is just about, like you're hard-pressed to figure out which one of those dudes you would really want to face. Like, I'm sitting here thinking about it right now. Like, if you're telling me I got to face one of these dudes to I don't know, to, like, keep my family alive, that's a fucking tough decision to make.
You did strike out Miguel Cabrera.
What's that?
You did strike out Miguel Cabrera.
Kinda. Like, if you go back.
Kinda.
Look, this is, And straight up, man, this is the kind of respect that I have for Miggy. The one punch out that I have, I locked him up on a 2-seamer in, and it was, if it was a strike, Jared, it hit the very pinpoint tip of the corner box of the strike zone. And it lit up, and the robot gave it to me. And I'll fucking take it. I am not asking to have another go against Miggy and let me really earn it. Fuck you, I earned it. He couldn't fucking get the bat off his shoulders. You're goddamn right.
So was it looking?
Yeah, I was looking. Yeah, but like I said, it was a ball where Miggy was like, that's like a half inch higher and a half inch further over the plate. I probably hit that out down the right field line, but that was too far in, and it was too far down. So I didn't swing at it because it was a ball.
Yeah, looks
Fuck
like
you, Miggy.
Looks like you walked him 4 times.
Yeah. But what I tell you, and you know what? Shout out to the folks on our broadcast too, because yesterday we were talking about Miggy, and my broadcast partner Kipe buried me with the numbers, but then hit me with but you know what, Dallas? You're not on that list of guys that have surrendered the home runs. And I was like, yeah, you see, Kipe? No damage. But we did bring up the OPS north of 1,000. And I said, to my defense, Jared, that's just all about being smart. Yep. It's all about picking my spots. You know who I didn't let beat me on 4 separate occasions? I didn't let Miguel Cabrera beat me.
Yeah. Yep, I see that that 615 slug. That 529 on base.
Yep. See, and it's his fault for hitting balls too goddamn hard. If he hit him a little lighter, they'd probably go out of the ballpark. Instead, they got top spin, and they're hitting the fucking wall, and he's got to settle for a double. Yeah. Dummy.
Did you not officially announce your retirement?
I don't know. How do you do that?
How do you? You should do it right now.
Yeah, I'm fucking over this. I'm done.
I've had
it.
You're walking away?
I've had it. It's time now. I can't stretch without tearing something. Yeah. I'm done. Today's the day, Jared.
Okay. Yeah, you have anyone you want to thank?
I want to thank my 4th grade teacher, Miss Helena Decopoulos, for giving me all of the confidence that I needed. She taught me a very strong and firm lesson back in 4th grade that I'll never forget.
What was that?
And that really set me on the course that I've sailed up until this day.
What was that?
So shout out, Mr. Decopoulos. There was a small scuffle outside of our classroom the week before what we called the Lincoln Olympics. Lincoln Unified School District had an Olympic event set. Well, there was a scuffle. One of them happened to be my friends. So I was trying to pull my friend off of this other guy. We're in fucking 4th grade. It's not like it's a knockdown drag out. They're wrestling and, doing dumb shit. So I'm pulling my buddy by his backpack, and one of the yard duties comes up and sees me grabbing him by the backpack and thinks that I'm fighting. Well, that wasn't the case at all. But Mr. Decopoulos, not having bore witness to the situation, had to do the right thing, and all 3 of us got banged. So I didn't get to run in the Lincoln Olympics. I mean, I was in 4th grade, and I was going to be running against the 6th graders. Like, shit was going down. This is when I was about to put my name on the fucking map in the amateur ranks. And it didn't happen, Jared.
Didn't happen.
So you learn a tough lesson, but you move on.
That's how you became a big league pitcher?
Yeah, you learn to just let the crowd go, That's why I'm the guy videotaping all this heinous shit that's going down in the stands at football games instead of jumping in there trying to break it up. I'm trying to run in that 6th grade fucking competition.
Yeah, I feel that. All right, well, congratulations on a decent career. It's an end of an era. It's an end of an era, Dallas. We kind of figured that this day was coming, but
on a career that definitely started and definitely ended.
Yep.
It was definitely a career.
I'm looking at the pitcher versus batter stats, you versus Miguel Cabrera, and RotoWire still has you listed as a free agent instead of retired.
That's right. That's right. You hear that? Top 5 teams in the AL/NL. You hear that? Huh?
Yeah, we can
Area
talk
code
about those
209.
top 5 teams in the NL. We're going to get there. We're going to get to some of those top 5 teams in the National League because there's a few. But first, we got to talk about Gosling's Rum because Gosling's Rum has introduced the Endless Summer Pina Colada cocktail kit. This lighter take on the classic pina colada brings in tropical flavors of lemongrass combined with the bold complexity of Bermuda's own Gosling's Black Seal Rum. With each sip, be transported to an island paradise where summer never ends. You'll have everything you need to make 16 of these craft cocktails delivered right to your front door by ordering on cocktailcourier.com. This limited time offer is only available for August, which there's about a week left in August. Use the promo code RUMDAY, R-U-M as in Miggy, Day, for free ground shipping. Don't wait. Again, that is promo code RUMDAY for free ground shipping on our Gosling's Endless Summer Pina Colada Kit on cocktailcourier.com. Let's see. I'm looking at the rundown here, and I don't see anything about the where is it? The Bay Area Bridge Championship thing.
Oh no,
Yeah,
that season got that series got postponed.
I don't even see it on the rundown.
Yeah, it got postponed.
Did you have anything to do with this?
You talking about the Bay Bridge series that was supposed to happen between the A's and Giants?
I see Yankees, Braves, Dodgers, Little League Classic, Red Sox, Orioles, NOLA.
Yeah, no, that series, it was postponed. So that's probably why it's not up there.
The Bay Area Bridge Series Championship between the Oakland A's and the San Francisco Giants. The first place, best record in baseball, San Francisco Giants. They've been playing great baseball this year, and they come into Oakland to play the sharing the second wild card spot Oakland A's with the Boston Red Sox, by the way. They share that with the Boston Red Sox, just right there. Second wild card spot. So it was a great series. I mean, it was not one-sided.
It was not a great series.
It was a great series. It was not one-sided. I mean, one team definitely won the series. Like there was a victor, so we can determine a winner of the Bridge Championship. But also, I don't think that you can decisively say that one team is overwhelmingly better than the other. We can definitely say one team is better than the other, but we can't say it overwhelmingly better than the other.
I think you can say that one team played better in the most pivotal moments during this 3-game series. I think that's about all you can say, frankly.
Yeah, I mean it was entertaining baseball. I mean whether you're a Bay Area baseball fan, a West Coast baseball fan, there were some tight ones. I mean the A's jump out to an early 1-0 lead in the series with the 4-1 victory on Friday. Save situation. That's how you know. I mean, the run differential in this series was what? Plus, it might have been even. Like the A's might have even been +1.
The Giants led for 3 innings total. The 3 most important innings, but they led for 3 innings this entire series.
Yeah, I think the A's run differential in this series was +1. So you've got a 4-1 victory for the Giants on Friday. You've got a 6-5. I mean, no, did I? 4-1 for the A's on Friday, 6-5 for the Giants on Saturday. And then that game on Sunday, you want to talk about some good baseball? The A's, 1-0. 1-0
Frankie
after
Montas.
7. Montas was dealing.
Fucking 7 innings, 9 punchies, 2 hits. They had 2 fucking hits through 7 innings, man.
Yep.
But what the Giants have done well all season long, and this is a legitimate tip of the cap to Gabe Kapler. For the folks in Philly who ran him out of there and wanted him gone and didn't want the matchups and couldn't stand watching him plug and play and blah, but wanted to see a guy with feel and this and that. look at what's happening right now. Gabe Kapler is using a combination of the feel and the numbers, and I don't know that there's another bench platoon out there that gets more run than the Giants. Like, their players understand. Like, when moves aren't getting made come 6th, 7th inning and, like, the lineup hasn't turned over and there's not somebody that's been subbed in at that point, guys are looking around like, hey, where's Cap? Is he still here? Is he in the fucking dugout? Like, why hasn't somebody been pinch hit for right now? What the fuck's going on? Coming in to this series, the Giants had 12 pinch hit home runs this season. Organizational record 14 back in 2001. They tied it because it was set in 1974. Saturday, you're down to your last out. Lamont Wade Jr., who's come up in massive spots all season long for the Giants. Gets a fucking, is it like 95, 94, 95, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. Like, up and in, just turns on it and smokes it. Takes every bit of air in the Coliseum right out of that fucking place.
You know what was crazy? That was his only hit of the series.
Yeah. Yeah, we're aware.
Yep, that was his only hit of the entire series. And then, you know, when you look at the numbers from this series, 6 homers in this series between the Giants and the A's. They were all hit by the Giants.
What do you mean?
There were 6 homers in this series. The Giants hit all 6 of them.
The A's, what they ran in, and here's the thing. Darren Ruff, fucking Chris Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
They come in and go back-to-back.
Belt.
Or was it? Yeah, it was Belt. And Bell hit the homer off Chafin, I think.
Yeah. Solano. Yaz. Oh, you love seeing Yaz get into one.
Donnie Barrels. Yaz. Yeah. You tell old Yaz, feel free to open your fucking eyes next time.
Yeah.
Son of a... He fucking torched that ball. He absolutely torched it, too.
I mean, your boy Marte still had a damn series for himself, though.
Well, Marte's been ridiculous.
Yeah.
Marte is easily the most impactful move made at the deadline. Easily. The dude is 17 for 17 in stolen bases. He's hitting north of fucking 350, I think, with the green and gold. Maybe north of 300. Maybe that's taking
how many bags? That's not a real number.
What?
He's stolen 17 bags in the last 3 weeks.
He's 17 for 17 over the last 3 weeks, my friend. Yeah,
that's insane.
I got a text from a guy who who happens to be paying attention to the stolen base numbers that are going on in the American League. Mm-hmm. And let's just say our boy's like, hey, can you maybe cut a fucking shoelace? Can you do something? Can you tell Marte to slow the fuck down? Because your boy's got a hefty little bonus. Should I be the one? Should I be the leader in the clubhouse at the end of this thing for stolen bases? Okay, so what do we got to do to get Marte to reel it the fuck in and quit running? Yeah. Because it's at this point, Jared.
How's Witt doing?
It's a double. How's what?
I said, how's Witt doing?
It's a double, and it's crazy because I do I'm looking at Witt, I'm watching him, and I'm looking at Marte, and I'm waiting, and I'm like, all right, Witt's got one. And then I see Marte get on base, and I almost want to text Witt every time now. Oh, Marte just got a knock. You're going to have to work a little harder because it's fucking guaranteed. It's a guaranteed bag. Guaranteed bag.
Yeah.
Like, fans that have been watching the A's for a long time are, starting to rumble man, I haven't seen anything like this since Ricky.
Yeah.
And
because it's just a lost art.
Oh, it is. But what's exciting is Starling Marte has single-handedly changed the complexion of the A's lineup and how they go about trying to produce runs if they're not hitting the ball out of the park. So you're watching double steals go down. You're watching guys get on base, go first move early on. They're really hunting that extra 90 feet. And it has made all the difference, I think, in the confidence in these guys at the plate because they're not just happy with working a walk. Now that they're on first, they want to get to second. And we're watching the athletes in baseball evolve. The athleticism and the demand of the game are changing how guys are going to play this game, prepare to play this game. Because Chris Bryant, very early on, remember, they wanted to run him out in left field. They wanted to put him in right field. They wanted to put him at third base because there was questions about the defense overall. Where we're going to find him a home. We know he can play. Is it going to be great at one spot? Are we okay with him being maybe average to slightly above in a multitude of spots? How are we going to go about it? Well, he settled in at third base, but ultimately became somebody they could move around. That's happening now in San Francisco. I watched the motherfucker start in right field, play left field, play third base, fielded a ball in the shift on the right side of the infield. And what that should tell you if you're watching the game of baseball is 7 years ago, Chris Bryant was a guy that they weren't sure where they were going to put him. And today, he's being asked to play all over the diamond and is doing so. And that's becoming part of the game again, as opposed to just having an anchor in a corner spot in the outfield or an anchor at a corner spot in the infield. These guys are being asked to become the athletes that they were in years past. And I think that's going to provide for a more exciting brand of baseball. Guys moving the game around, stealing bags, hitting and running. It's fun to watch.
It is fun to watch because it's a lost art. And, yeah, I mean, I guess I knew that Marte was hitting the shit out of the baseball. I did not realize that he was just swiping bags like a madman.
It's stupid, dude. It's stupid. And that, like, little stuff like this is where West Coast fans get pissed about the West Coast bias. Because could you imagine if anybody that had changed teams on the East Coast has stolen almost 20 fucking bags and hasn't been caught yet and has their team winning ball games in ways that they haven't been winning ball games this year, it would be front page news. Yeah. They'd be all over it on MLB Network. But it's not even a fucking topic. It's not even a conversation point. Because it's out here on the West Coast, and it's the Oakland A's, and nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dallas. I mean, I'm giving Marte credit. I mean, he had 10 total bases in the series. No one else had more than 6. It was a hell of a series for Marte. Apparently, it was not enough.
How about, I mean, again, Gabe Kapler? Saturday, Lamont Wade Jr. hits the homer.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, Gabe Kapler takes that man, Lamont Wade Jr., out of the lineup, albeit he was going to be facing A.J. Puck throwing fucking 98 from the left side, and says, no, I'm going to use Donnie Barrels, Donovan Solano. Step right up. He saw one fucking pitch, and he hit it out of the ballpark.
I mean, if you were going to go, like, buy a car and you saw a car that you liked and you really liked it, you get the car.
Yeah, and you come across a slice of pizza you really like and you're hungry, you fucking eat it.
Yeah, you're going to eat it. So, anyways, congratulations to the San Francisco Giants on winning the Bridge Trophy. It's it's good for baseball. And honestly, it looked like it was going to be a Dodger takeover there for a little second there. Dodgers still playing great baseball. I mean, that's what's difficult right now. I think the last time we checked in, the Dodgers were 4 back of the Giants. Now they're 2.5 back. The Dodgers have won 9 out of 10. So the Giants have still had to win 7 of their last 10 just to kind of keep the Dodgers off their ass. And
they have.
They have.
It's just fucking remarkable. The A's should have absolutely swept that fucking series. We shouldn't even be having this conversation right now. Shouldn't even be having this fucking conversation.
Why not?
I just told you why.
I mean, they're a good team, Dallas. Are the A's a good team?
A's are a good team.
Okay. Well, they just took a series from the A's. That would make the Giants a good
freak
team,
shit. Freak shit. That should not have happened. I mean, fuck, Jared. 95 at his fucking chin whiskers, and Lamont Wade Jr. turns it around.
That's what good teams do.
Donovan Solano, go back and look at where that fucking baseball was going. That was a 96-mile-an-hour cutter that would have hit him in the dick if he wouldn't have swung. and he hit it out of the fucking park. What the fuck?
It's a good team. Giants are a good team. Still in first place. First team to 80 wins. First team to 80 wins. Look at that. What a team.
Such
Speaking of good teams, the Yankees. The Yankees have won 9 straight baseball games. They've done it with injuries. They've done it with guys going on the COVID list.
Well, didn't this start with Garrett Cole coming back? He came back. They won his first start. Right?
Did
Is that true? That's true.
Maybe, yeah.
I know that's true.
Maybe, yeah. I think he went like 6 shot or something like that.
Yeah. And now they've gone streaking. I really thought there was going to be more to come of the like Luke Voit Rizzo situation.
Oh, I like that. I saw some people saying, well, okay, there's a couple of points here to be made about the Luke Voit comments as it pertains to Anthony Rizzo and Luke Voit's playing time. There were some people, because Voit was going off, he was like, listen, I led the league in homers last year. I got MVP votes, yada, yada, yada. All that's true, but it's a 60-game season. Like, let's not pump those tires too much. However, all that being said, does Luke Voit have a case to say, like, I got hurt. I wasn't not performing. I got hurt. And now you guys want Anthony Rizzo in there? Like, what the fuck? Now I'm healthy. And then when he gets in the box, he performs. When Luke Voigt's healthy and he gets ABs, he produces like that.
Who you ain't got to sell me on the strongest man in baseball, bud.
Yeah. Yeah, he's so strong. But the thing about Luke Voit, you want your players to feel that way, no?
No, absolutely. I think there's got to be a certain level of understanding there for Luke, which is, hey, man, you were
He hasn't
hurt.
made his money yet.
Well, there's 2 things. One, you were hurt. And so what we have to do right now is replace that. We got to fill that void straight up. So we're going to do that. And we've done that. And we've done that with not just somebody you're just going to easily move off of the position once you come back and show us you're healthy. And that last part, that show us you're healthy part, that's a part that may not have been such a large requirement before Anthony Rizzo. Meaning you can come back, you're going to work through and knock off some of the rust, and you'll get the benefit of the doubt during that time period because we know you're not 100% healthy, you're coming back from it. But instead, they've got Anthony Rizzo there right now. And so they can allow Luke to work through those rust knocking off moments and get back to viability. Well, he's viable, and he's saying, I can play too. So it then becomes, or it could become, if handled correctly, a good problem to have. Right?
Yeah, you have too many fucking players.
Well, but you've got that platoon.
I mean, you had Joey Gallo on the fucking bench the other night. They're putting fucking like Stanton's playing the outfield. Mm-hmm. They've got Aaron Judge out of position.
Which is where? In left?
In center.
In center?
He's like, not terrible in center, but like that's out of position for him.
But not if they're okay with how that has to line up. It's one thing to look at him and say he's probably not a center fielder. It's another thing to say if you're the New York Yankees, we're okay with him in center field because it gives us his bat in the lineup and allows us to put somebody else in the lineup that otherwise would have to play defense that we might not want to.
I have a stat for you, Dallas. You ready for my stat?
What do you
got? Okay. Since Luke Voit came back on August 8th, so he's played 13 games. The Yankees are 10-3 in those 13 games. Luke Voit is hitting .320 with a .990 OPS. As you remember, the Yankees acquired Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo homered in his first 2 games as a Yankee. In the 10 games since those first 2 in which he homered, Anthony Rizzo is hitting .167 with a .506 OPS. Mm-hmm. Tell me why Luke Voigt's wrong.
Brother, I never even once started to tell you he was.
No, not you specifically. I'm just saying out loud.
Oh, no, there's no...
Because I saw some reaction. Like, I don't really look at the replies on Twitter, but the night that Luke Voit made those comments about, I got MVP votes, I led the league in homers, I shouldn't lose my at-bats because we have Rizzo. I looked at the quote tweets, and there were a lot of Yankee fans that were like, dude, shut up. Like you're not...
Listen, these are the same Yankee fans who were trying to fire fucking Aaron Boone after the first pitch on opening day, okay? These are the same Yankee fans who would sell off their own grandmother if it meant them being able to survive another day. That's who those types of fans are. And what they're doing is looking at Luke Voit as somebody who hasn't been healthy and hasn't been in the lineup producing for their Yankees. So they've got a guy in Anthony Rizzo, right? Italian, we're bringing him home. He's now our guy. He's here to help because Luke Voit ain't doing shit for us, so we had to go get fucking Rizzo, and now Rizzo's going to be here doing work. And it's like, yo, Luke Voit, chill out. Anthony Rizzo's won a World Series. This guy's a baller. You should be lucky that we got him coming in to clean up your mess for you. But, like, that's the mentality. And that's why people want to look at Luke Voit like he doesn't have something to say. Well, Luke Voigt's been saying it with the fucking bat. You just need to be reading his book. That's it. That's where that vibe comes from, is you haven't had the Luke Voit production, so you get Anthony Rizzo, proven World Series hero, and the Yankee fans are saying, well, this is now our guy. Brian Cashman made a move, went and got this guy, brought him in. Of course, we're going to like him better right now. Why? Well, for no real reason other than he's been brought in and he's a new guy and we're going to fall in love with him, and because Luke Voit hasn't been producing. So it's like by default, Anthony Rizzo came into a situation where he was kind of ready to be loved on. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Makes plenty of sense. And it's the shiny new toy syndrome, because think of it this way, perspective-wise, right? The trade deadline was the turning point for the New York Yankees. Whether it was because of the trade deadline or something clicked, something happened, the Yankees turned their season around right around then, right at the trade deadline. So if you're a Yankee fan, you're automatically going to mentally associate the turnaround with, what did the Yankees do at the trade deadline? Oh, they got Anthony Rizzo. So Anthony Rizzo shows up, homers in his first 2 games with the team. So now they have like this shiny new toy, love and affection for Anthony Rizzo. He's the reason why. Mm-hmm. It's because of Anthony Rizzo that the season changed. When really, you had your turnaround, and there's no doubt in my mind. Like, I'm not one of these guys that doesn't play into intangibles and it's all about statistics and whatever. I think that there is a big mental effect that can happen when your front office they didn't deserve it. They were basically like the shitty kid on Christmas that still got the N64. Like, they didn't deserve the presents that they got on Christmas morning, but they still got some pretty dope presents on Christmas morning. And because of that, that says something to you. Hey, they believe in us. Like, we fucking sucked in the first half, and these guys upstairs are still like, let's go. Like, let's fix this. Let's do something about this. They buy in, and they turn their season around, and now they're in a playoff spot. I think that as we sort of, if this fizzles out, which it hasn't yet, they've won 9 straight. They're going up against a team. We'll get to them in a second. There's also won 9 straight. So if the Yankees start, they lose 4 out of 5, and the offense goes back to what they were doing in the first half, they were scoring 3 runs a game, barely able to scratch across any runs, you're going to now cry for Luke Voit. You're going to be like, that's the guy that's hitting. Put Luke Voit back in there.
They'll cry for Luke Voit, and they'll blame Nasty Nestor. That's exactly what's going to happen. They'll blame Luke Voit. They'll want to fire Aaron Boone. They'll be pissed off that there's no September free agent market, and they'll blame Nasty Nestor, who, by the way, since his Cy Young outing in Oakland, has he's starting fucking ball games for the New York Yankees and has been throwing well. Since he came in against the fucking Oakland A's, your boy Nestor Cortez is sporting a 2.68 ERA. Opponents hitting 2.11 against him.
Yeah.
He's logged 47 innings over that time. Team is 9-3 in his starts. Are you fucking serious?
I believe it. Guy's electric. It's hard to hate him. You can't hate him.
Nasty Nestor.
Nestor.
Or how many starts has he made? I don't know.
Let's see.
7 or 8. They're 9-3 in his appearances, whatever it is.
Yeah, he's made 7 starts, 15 appearances. He's just been out there dealing.
I mean,
I love it.
Well, he's taken the Johnny Cueto, Marcus Stroman shit like to an obscene level. You'd be hard pressed to determine whether or not Nestor Cortez is throwing the first pitch of the game or if he's throwing out the first pitch before the ball game. Like, is he out there doing fucking flips and shit, throwing baseball? That's what it looks like. He's gonna throw. He's gonna throw one behind his back this year. I got Nestor Cortez throwing a behind the back knuckleball before this season's over.
I would love to see Nestor Cortez starting like a wild card game because they need a Garrett Cole to get in, so you throw Nestor out there for the wild card game.
Jared, you just took the words. You took the scenario right out of my baseball brain. I want nothing more than to see diehard Yankee fans pinning their entire season's hopes and dreams on Nestor Cortez. And I just want, like, this is...
They would probably love that.
Oh, and if that happens, I want 8 shut from old Nasty Nessie. I want 8 shut. But I want Yankees fans to be in that spot right there where they can't go to Cole because they had to use him to get there.
Yep.
Because that's very different than, like, landing on Nestor Cortez because they know if they ever had the option, they're not landing on Nestor. They're landing on anybody else. But if that's just not the option,
Yankee Stadium would be fucking rocking for Nestor.
I want to see them rally around Nasty Nessie.
Would you go? Oh, I've already talked about this in therapy. I don't know if we have better help as an ad read, but I was like, if the Red Sox play the Yankees in a wild card game at Yankee Stadium, I might die. So, like, would you come with me, Dallas?
Want me to go?
Yeah. Would you come?
Yes, I'll go. I'll go
Thank
with
you.
I will go with you.
Then I feel better because my other alternative was I was going to ask Gus. Or both. I might have both. The more the merrier.
Well, I'm telling you right now, I don't know that I'm not easing your mind in terms of, oh, well, Dallas is here. We're not going to be targeted. That probably ratchets it up a little, just a touch.
Yeah.
But we'll go out together.
Yeah, as long as, like, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with going down as long as it's just not like one of those
Solo.
sad situations where it's like, he died alone, no one helped. It's like, if they kill us both.
You were plotting this extensive bank robbery job to ride off in the sunset, but you forgot that you started the car and planned all of this in the garage and then killed yourself with fucking carbon monoxide poisoning. That's a hell of a way to go out.
I would
You don't
love
want
that.
to do that.
I would absolutely
You
love
don't want
that.
to do that.
Yeah.
Planning the world's biggest bank heist. You got murder and seduction all over your game plan, and instead you off yourself because you forgot to turn the fucking car off in the garage.
Yeah. It was that would be the way to go, though. It's like, how do you die? Oh, he got mauled at Yankee Stadium with Dallas Braden. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Ripped apart by the animals in the Bronx Zoo.
Yeah. Yeah. You shouldn't have got in the cage.
We're gonna watch your entire head of hair get fucking ripped off and thrown over the right field wall.
I think I'll wear like a hazmat suit if I go.
We got to go. You know what we should do? We should go as just 2 old baseball fans, like 2 old baseball fan buddies.
Like, we should dress like we're on like the Titanic.
I'm down.
Like the nice little top hat.
Oh, buddy, I've got 3 pieces out the wazoo.
Yeah.
I lead the league in 3 pieces.
I might hit up one of my friends is he makes like props for movies in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I might have him design like a Titanic life vest, but have it made out of like Kevlar.
You know what hat I'll wear? Have you ever seen the movie Tombstone?
No, I haven't.
You've never seen the movie Tombstone?
No, is it a horror movie?
No.
I only watch horror movies.
It's an epic Western. Epic.
Okay.
Epic. Oh, my God.
I mean, I only have a small window of time to watch movies.
Well,
like November, December, January. That's it.
You need to watch Tombstone.
I'll put it on the list.
It's an all-time. Like Val Kilmer is the fucking man in Tombstone. Kurt Russell also the man in Tombstone. But there's a cowboy, Curly Bill. And I have his hat from that movie.
Oh. How did you get your hands on that?
I know a guy who knows a guy.
Ah.
Got a guy who's got a guy. But, Jared, I don't know if you know this. I live in Los Angeles, and that
You
is
do.
where Hollywood is. Mm-hmm. And so how you know a guy who works on sets and designs shit like that, that is essentially everybody who's not an actor in L.A. They do something of the sort. So there's places like that all around. But, yeah, I got homeboys. I got Curly Bill's lid, so I might rock that motherfucker.
I like that. I like that a lot. I also love the Braves winning 9 straight fucking baseball games.
I mean, does it get hotter?
I mean, the Yankees are pretty hot right now.
Fair. But what the Braves have done, it feels like we have just completely lost sight of the hurdles they've had to clear to get here.
Oh, my God. I mean, you know
and
what
I don't
made me
want to be
sad
somebody.
yesterday?
I don't want to harp on it.
Twitter, and I see a fucking tweet advertising Mike Soroka on the broadcast, and I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, it's just like another reminder of, you know, how good the Braves are good. They fuck, but how much better could they be if
they had
Mike
an
Soroka
all-world
caught a
center
goddamn
fielder
break, and Ronald Acuna Jr. caught a break, and Marcell Ozuna wasn't a fucking piece of shit. Like, it's, you know.
See, I have forgotten all about Marcell Ozuna.
Yeah.
Hand up. Forgotten all about him.
Yeah. The Braves, and it's like they had, I mean, they didn't really have Soroka, but they had Ozuna and they had Acuna, and they still weren't sniffing a winning record. And this is a team that once they went above 500, they have gotten to a place where they're like, all right, we remember how to be good, and they've been one of the best teams in baseball since they've gone over 500.
Sometimes it's just that little vote of confidence you need, man, for guys to start clicking. You know, you've gotten great production from Austin Riley, and sometimes even guys like that, new on the scene, they start to produce, and you're like, you know what? We can do this too. Why don't we fucking support this guy? Why don't we just get back to banging the baseball, doing the little things? And as much as I talk about Marte and the impact he's had in Oakland, you can watch those types of transitions occur by bringing new guys in, by re-upping guys, by just supporting a hot streak of somebody in-house. And I think there's an opportunity for all that to be the case for the Atlanta Braves. Just ink Darno for 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
You can rally around Riley and Freeman. I mean, why not?
I mean, Freddie Freeman has talk about flip a switch. Freddie Freeman has flipped a goddamn switch. He went from like hitting 240 something with like a 7 something OPS to hitting 370 something with a 9 something OPS. The guy just flipped a switch, and I don't know what it is. We don't know if there was an injury or whatever else, but Freddie Freeman has become Freddie Freeman. And they've needed that. And they also, when Freddie Freeman wasn't Freddie Freeman, like Freddie Freeman right now, I think he's like top 3 in the fucking NL in hits.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And right behind him is one of the most underrated players in baseball, Austin Riley, who I believe is somewhere in the top 10, maybe top 5. And this is a guy that, I've been saying all year, he's super underrated, super underrated. You can only call a guy underrated so many times before everyone kind of catches on. Like, this guy's pretty fucking good. He's 5th in the NL in home runs. He's almost got 30 bombs. Like, and then they brought in Adam Duvall. Like, that was a move that kind of flew under the radar. Adam Duvall is an RBI fucking machine. Ozzie Albies is right behind Manny Machado in driving in runs. Like, the Braves lineup fucks, Dallas.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. I know.
They fuck.
And they're getting help. Like, so the Soroka thing is something we've obviously talked about. Max Fried just threw a fucking CG. Nastiness.
Yeah. 90 pitches? 91?
I think 90. The fucking Maddox.
Whew.
Oh, God,
Chucky
the
Morton's
kid's name.
not looking so bad.
Anoa. Huascar Anoa. Right? He just came back through the ball well his first outing since punching a fucking wall or whatever he did.
Yeah, I think he went like 6 shot maybe, somewhere in there.
Yeah, like five, it was 5 or 6 innings.
They've needed him.
Man,
he was electric.
Big time. It's little outings like that, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, you get a guy back, he performs well first time out, and it feels like because if you get a guy back and he shows up and it's like, 3 innings, pitch count got up there, maybe he gave up a couple runs, punched a guy or 2 out, and you're like, oh, well, how'd that feel? Well, little rusty, but leaves a lot to be desired for that next turn. Well, when Anoa shows up and gives you 5-6 innings, shutout baseball, you win the ball game, it kind of gives you that, well, fuck, here we go. We're hitting the ground running kind of vibe. Like, what have we needed? Some arms. We needed some help. What do we got? We're getting that help. We needed a big start to alleviate some pressure in the bullpen. What do we get? We got that from Maxi Babe. CG shut piece.
I love it. Big series between the Yankees and the Braves. We'll see what happens there. Dodgers, we talked about that. They've won 13 of their last 15. They've made up a game and a half.
A game. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's what I was saying that 2 weeks ago, Jared. The fucking Giants continue to do everything they need to hold the rope, and in a streak where you're winning 8 out of 10, you'd like to think you're making up at least 2 ball games. At least 2. They're not even there. Over 2 fucking weeks where the baseball has been played. Really good baseball. They've made up a game and a half.
A game and a half. Winning 13 of 15. It's and I got
to say this too. I got just to circle back, talk about the Giants a little bit. Obviously I got to talk to Cap this weekend, Gabe Kapler. But watching him handle the media, watching him speak to the media, and he has, in a very short time, really come into his own as a steward of a ball club. He's not just the manager of the San Francisco Giants. He's a part of the personality of this clubhouse. He's a part of the personality of this organization now. And there's a lot of light banter before and after his question session, his media scrum, just about life, just about how to keep guys motivated, how to keep guys focused, and his experience as a player, the education that he sought after playing, and while he's a member with the media, he's just really put himself in position to be a trusted voice and a conduit from the front office to the clubhouse, and that has as big of an impact on a club and their success as anything, and that's something that just doesn't show up. And so for all the shit that Cap caught in Philly and the exit and the questions about being able to fill Bruce Bochy's shoes, this season, regardless of how it ends, I think is something that Giants fans should really pay attention to and just stash away when there's a rainy day, and remember what Cap has done for this group up until this point.
And coconut oil.
Yes.
Over that 15-game stretch for the Dodgers. Wait, you know what, Dallas? Do you have the balls? Who is your NL MVP pick before the season? Do you remember?
Oh,
I don't remember who I picked.
damn. I don't. I think I may have picked Freddie Freeman.
Maybe. I probably picked Tatis. Which could still happen.
No, not even close.
I think it could still happen.
You think it's gonna happen?
I think it could. Where's he at? I bet you, without looking, if I were to check this right now, Fernando Tatis Jr. probably leads the National League in wins above replacement. Let's see. He does. Yeah.
What's he at?
4.9. You know who
behind
leads
him?
the majors, though?
Oh, I do. I'm well aware. You realize there's nobody within 2?
Ooh. I don't think you'd realize who leads the majors.
What is it, not Ohtani?
Not Ohtani.
What?
I'm looking at Fangraphs, not Baseball Reference.
Who is it?
Marcus Semien leads the majors in wins above replacement. F-WAR 5.3. Then you've got Vladdy Jr. 5.2, and then you've got Fernando Tatis Jr. 4.9. But what I was going to ask you, if you had the balls to do, since I don't know, you've been a big Dodgers honk this year, since you didn't think Fernando Tatis Jr. was still leading in wins above replacement in the NL, you think he's fallen off a little bit?
Well, I was saying that because of the.
You think
because
he's
of the
fallen off a little
injury
bit?
and because
You don't
of the
believe in him?
Position change.
You don't believe in him anymore?
No,
Do
that
you
has
have the
nothing to do
balls,
with it.
Dallas?
The injury and position change.
Dallas, do you have the fucking balls to say on today, August 23rd, that when the voting is complete, that Max Muncy will be the National League MVP? Do you have the fucking balls to say that?
No.
You don't.
No, I don't. I mean, I haven't looked at.
He's
No.
right there. He's 4.8. There's like a huge 3 or 4 way tie. So it is currently Max Muncy 4.8, Trey Turner 4.8. You have Xander Bogaerts, different league, and then Shohei Ohtani, different league. But in terms of NL, there's a lot of space. It's Fernando Tatis Jr., Max Muncy, and then kind of everyone else. Like the next guy up is
Where's
Jake
Trey
Cronenworth.
Turner at in that?
Trey Turner's at 4.8, but can you really give a guy the MVP award when he switches teams? It's like you weren't helping the Dodgers, especially when the lead candidate on that team wouldn't be Trey Turner, it'd be Max Muncy.
Well, again, it's a great question because that then begs the question of the V.
Yeah.
How are you-
I'm sure some people will hold that against him, especially because it wouldn't be like if he went to the Braves or if he went to the Phillies and then got the Phillies there. I mean, yeah, Bryce Harper, sure, but I don't know. I'm surprised that you don't have the fucking balls to say that Max Muncy could win the MVP. That's
Oh, no, there's a difference between could win and will win.
So who do you think? All right, who's your pick then? On today, you can look at the numbers today and make an NL MVP pick. Who's your guy?
Well, if you're going just strictly based on WAR,
No, I'm not going strictly based on WAR. I'm asking you who the MVP is going to be. Who, when they open up that envelope on MLB Network and they say congratulations to the 2021 National League MVP, blank.
I mean, we still got a month left.
Still got a month left. Who is it, Dallas?
I don't know. I mean, why can't Bryce Harper catch fire?
I mean, he's been on fire.
Like I seriously ask why Trey Turner's not an option.
No, I'm not saying he's not an option. I just think that the voters will probably hold it against him a little bit that he switched teams, and then when you join the
But that's
Dodgers,
out of his control. And if
No
the
doubt.
production maintains,
so are injuries.
what's that?
So are injuries.
To an extent.
To an
which
extent.
is why what?
To an extent.
Which is so like there's nothing for me. If your argument is against Trey Turner that he didn't stay on the same team Well, that holds no weight with me. Well, he still had to play baseball. You understand that? Like, that was going to happen wherever he was. So moving on from that, because that's just a guarantee that has to happen, him playing. How did he play when he, played the game he has to play regardless of where he's playing it? Oh, he played it at an MVP caliber level? Well, then you know what we should do? We should consider him for that award.
Sure.
And
I'm not saying he shouldn't be considered.
Well, no, I'm saying that's my argument to the voters or to anybody who would say, yeah, but he's on a different team. He didn't stay with the same team. Like, there's just little to no logic behind that being an argument for even remotely coming close to not considering Trey Turner in this. So yeah. I believe that Trey Turner's game, because of the value defensively and what he might be able to do, what he's going to do offensively, I think Trey Turner's a very real candidate.
So what you're saying is you absolutely don't have the balls to say that Max Muncy's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, I can't get. I mean, as much as I want Max and Jax to be celebrating together, shout out Jax, his little Frenchie. I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. Do you have the balls? You got the balls? You have the fucking balls right now over Fernando Tatis Jr., who's been hurt, who is going to be playing a different position, but the guy's drum you've been beating. Do you have the balls right now to tell the world, regardless of how this thing ends, as of right now, Fernando Tatis Jr. undoubtedly will be the National League MVP. Undoubtedly. Not even a conversation to be had. Leader in the clubhouse in WAR, F-WAR. That's the guy. You got the fucking balls to give that to America right now?
I don't, because of the games played, like you said.
Straight pussy.
Because the game's played. And because right now, I don't see this on the rundown either.
I'm getting a power cord.
All right, go right ahead, because I don't need Dallas for this segment either. What I was going to say is the San Diego Padres currently find themselves on the outside looking in.
Oh, yeah.
Coming into play today. The San Diego Padres season, if the season ended today, they are not playing in October.
Nope.
You know who is?
You know who else isn't?
Who? Who?
Fuck.
You can't ask me a question and not answer it.
Continue.
You said you know who else isn't. Who?
Continue.
Who?
I'm scrambling right now.
Were you going to say the Red Sox and then you realize that they're tied with the A's, so they are in a playoff spot right now? Is that what you were going to say?
Oh, you're just tied for a playoff
spot. You motherfucker. You're just tied.
Got it.
Anyways, back to what I was saying. The Cincinnati Reds came into today holding a one-game lead in the National League wild card. This is a team, I'm telling you right now, we joked about it before with fucking Wade Miley. He's like second in the NL. I think he's second in the majors in wins above replacement for pitchers. But on July 21st, the Cincinnati Reds were 2 games over 500. Barely had a winning record. And they lost the series to the Mets. That put them 6 games back in the wild card. Since that series lost to the Mets, Dallas, they've won 20 out of 30 baseball games. In that same span of time, the San Diego Padres have lost 16 out of 26 baseball games. Now the Reds have that 1-game lead for the NL wild card. Over that 30-game stretch, in which they've won 20 out of 30, you know who leads the majors in OPS?
Tell me right now.
Joey fucking Votto. Joey Votto has a 1244 OPS to lead the majors. He's slugging 822, which is over 100 points higher than the next best guy. We're talking about a month sample here, and that would be George Springer, 7-something. And then the rest of the Reds lineup during that 30-game stretch in which they've won 20 ball games, they lead the National League in batting, runs scored, They lead the majors in on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, hits, doubles, homers, extra base hits, and total bases. They bang. The Cincinnati Reds bang.
Who have those games been against?
They've had, I think, didn't they lose a series to, I think they caught the Giants bug there and it didn't go well. But let's see. Let's run through that schedule. The Cincinnati Reds have taken care of business. It's been a little soft. The Twins, the Pirates, the Indians, who have been playing good baseball. They have. The fucking Indians have been playing good baseball. That's a fact. They've been playing much better of late. The Phillies, the Cubs, the Braves.
I mean,
Marlins.
aside from the Braves, say those names again. The Minnesota Twins.
No, I'm not saying it again. Because you know what? You know what, Dallas? You're mad that the A's lost to the Giants, and now you're trying to take it out on the Reds. And I think that's fucked up. You're a bully. Reds fans have every right to be excited about this team. And, hey.
Is this where I recite my rock, paper, scissors record against my cousin who has no fucking hands? I'm undefeated.
Nope. This is where you say, hey, you can only play the teams that are on the schedule. The Reds had to take care of business for an entire month, and they did it.
And Jared, truer words have never been spoken.
Yep.
They needed to win games, and they did.
They did it. They did it.
Yeah, there's no denying that.
Yep.
There's no denying. Hey, the Central, both Centrals. You know, I'm here for the fireworks that those two divisions continually provide.
Yeah, I mean it is. Just say they're a good team.
They've played great baseball. There's no denying that. No denying that.
Say they're a playoff team.
Well, as it sets right now, should the season end today, Jared? I know you like that. Mm-hmm. They are absolutely.
They're in.
A playoff team.
They're in.
They are in. No denying that whatsoever. Let me ask you this question.
Yep.
Your Cincinnati Reds square off against a limping San Diego Padres. 1-game playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Who's playing in that divisional round? Who wins that 1-game
Tell me
playoff?
who the starters are. Who are the starters?
Pick your starter. I was gonna get. I'll give you Castillo.
Ooh, he's been nasty. If you look at his splits.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give you anybody other than Castillo. Like I want you to be armed.
Yeah, I want to just read you these numbers for Luis Castillo because it was bad. I think his ERA at one point was over 7, but since then it might be sub 2. So I just want to make sure I get this correct. Luis Castillo.
I mean, you don't want Wade Miley?
I mean, let's see. All right. Luis Castillo,
Sonny Gray
through his first 11 starts, had a 7.22 ERA. So we're talking since June 4th. Oh, he did give up fucking 8 earned runs to the Indians. That was tough. 2.73. 15 starts. He's got a 2.73 with 97 strikeouts in 92 and a third innings. And that would definitely be a sub 2 if it wasn't for the shit he took on the mound against the Indians on the 9th. 8 earned runs in 3 and a third. Not good. But other than that, he's been outstanding.
Yeah. I just I feel like that could be. Could that be an area of I don't know if concern is the right word? Could that be an area of attention that needs to be paid to the Cincinnati Reds as fans of the Cincinnati Reds moving down the line here? The starting rotation.
No. I mean, he's rebounded quite nicely since then. He's made 2 starts.
Well,
15
him and
strikeouts
Miley.
and 13 2/3.
But now after that, that's where my question came in.
Yeah, Wade
after
Miley.
that.
I'm fine. I'm fine with this fucking Reds team. I'm not saying they're gonna win the World Series. I'm just saying this is a team that a lot of people haven't been paying attention to, and now it's too late. Now they're in the playoffs.
Now they're in the playoffs. They are, as of today, right now, they're
in
WC2.
Yeah. There was a team that was in the playoffs. They were actually 2 games up. They were in first place in the NL East, and I don't think they've won a game since. We're now joined by Adam Smith of Barstool Sports.
Ooh.
Smitty.
Famed blogger
many of you
and fan.
know him as Smitty. And the Phillies, I mean, it's been a hell of a goddamn year, Smitty. It's been a hell of a goddamn year. We were actually just about to hit on the last news topic, which was and I even said it. I felt horrible for Aaron Nola. He was actually I don't know if you saw this, he was my preseason pick for Cy Young Award in the National League. I picked Aaron Nola to win the Cy Young Award, and he looked like a Cy Young pitcher until 2 outs in the 9th, and Jay Cronenworth had something to say about it. Did you have something to say about it, Smitty?
I did have something to say about it. I was not happy with that. A, B, them immediately cutting to his father in a barbaric move by the booth immediately after that happened. And C, he was a Cy Young pitcher. He got votes in 2018. Since then, he's been showing flashes, including this season, of being the King Noah, the ace, and then just absolutely cutting his own dick off for whatever reason and not being able to do shit. Specifically, when pitchers are 2 strikes. Like, I've never seen a pitcher who would be in a 2-strike count, specifically 0-2, 1-2, and just let go of a 400-foot fucking monster shot right down the cock. Like, I don't get that with Aaron. Oh, but on Saturday, he did return to King Noah form. Shout out to Brad Miller for a nice little air in the 6th, breaking up that perfect game, and then soon the no-hitter.
I mean, what's going through your head at that point in time? What's going through your brain at that point in time, watching things, because that's a wheel starting to rattle kind of moment. Hasn't fallen off, wheels starting to rattle.
Yeah, I felt confident because when Noah's on, like, he's on. Same thing with Wheeler this year. So as long as they could muster, 3-4 runs, like, they should be good. They ended up getting 3, and obviously it wasn't good enough. It was funny, actually, because we're all watching the broadcast. We're out at the bar in Philly, and Taryn Hatcher, a post-game reporter with Ben Davis, who's a Philly sports announcer guy now, said in the 6th inning, blatantly, Aaron Nola pitching a perfect game, and we're all like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you even opening your mouth, like, even close to that? And of course, first batter, Brad Miller makes the air. But I'm just happy to see some consistency out of Nola. But when it comes down to it, as all season, it's the Phillies bats, which are the most frustrating things, because either they're scoring 7, 8, 20 runs like last night, or they're just struggling to put shit together constantly. And it's beyond frustrating.
I just wanted to help you out with something. You complained about the struggles of Aaron Nola, especially with 2 strikes. I just want to let you know that 78% of his at-bats with 2 strikes do turn into outs. That's 2 percentage points higher than league average.
Okay. What about home runs and dingers on 2 strikes? Because
I'd have to look at that.
Because it seems pretty out of the ordinary. Maybe it's because, they're in 0-1 run games in which every run matters, and it just seems like it's that much more catastrophic. But it just seems with 2 strikes, like, he gives up bombs. I don't know, but that was a 3-1 pitch he gave up to Jake the other night. So what are you gonna do?
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Did you have him hanging around a little too long?
No, because he was that dominant. I think he ended up with 116 pitches, which is a season long. With this bullpen, which has been better, which is shocking, because the first half of the season they were historically dog dick, and if they were just average, like, they probably still be game or 2 within first place. Second half of the season, they've been below average still, but still, like, better. But when Aaron Nola's cooking like that, you let him cook. Plus, he's hitting doubles in the 8th inning. Let the big dog eat.
Adam, I have a question for you. When the Phillies took over the Mets for first place in the NL East with that sweep in Philly, did you think, okay, now we go, or did you think this isn't going to last long? This isn't a team that can sustain this. Like, where were you at in terms of like the vibe check?
You see, with these cock teases, I knew it felt good at the time, but I also knew before that 8-game winning streak, they were facing the Pirates and they got 1 hit and then 1 run in 2 straight losses. And then the streak began against Pittsburgh, and then they were and then they were at home against the Mets and faced another team that was dog shit during those 8. Oh, the Nats at home, and they swept them. So I knew like it might be too good to last. Specifically long term with these bats, because they can just go right back to shit like they did against the Reds and then the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks was the most outrageous fucking series I've ever seen in my life, with zero heart.
They're hot.
Phillies
they're hot
team.
right now. D-backs are hot.
They're hot, but they're the Diamondbacks. Like, you're going in a playoff race into their town. Like, take 1 out of 3. Don't get swept. There was only 3 times the Phillies got swept by teams with that bad winning percentages. Like, there was like a 320 winning percentage. Once was in the 20s by the Boston Braves. The other was in the 60s by the Expos. Like, you're in a playoff race. Do something, anything to make it happen. And then, of course, they go and win 2 or 3 against the Padres, in which they should have swept. I don't get this team. I don't get it. I like them. I want to love them, but I don't get them.
What do they need to do? I mean, Rhys Hoskins is fucking red hot right now. He just hit 2 bombs. Was that yesterday?
Yeah, his first game back. He wasn't playing the last 20 games.
Your third baseman just got sitting down in AAA.
He's an enigma. I don't get, and it's with this franchise, it comes down to scouting and player development. They have none. They got 0. And you have flashes in the pan like a Scott Kingery, who's showing good talent early on, and then Alec Boehm, who was second in NL Rookie of the Year voting last year. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, they just fall off the map. They just completely fall off the map. And this team, its farm system is Bush League. And the only players they have on their roster right now. What was that?
I said Dave Dombrowski will fix that. No worries.
I mean,
yeah, your farm system is going to be unrecognizable.
It already is. It already is.
Jared very well may be a part of your farm system.
I mean, whatever. I mean, I guess if you can improve the franchise a little bit while they have sustainable talent somewhat at the major league level. But I mean, the only homegrown players right now are Hoskins and Nola, essentially. That's it. Yeah. Everyone else, you went outside. Harper, Remuto, Didi, Kutch, like Segura. Like, what the fuck?
You don't have any future Hall of Famers beating the clubhouse door down as of right now.
No. And it's sad. It's sad because that's been an issue since 2010, 2011, when the streak ended. And then that's the reason why they haven't had a winning season for 10 years.
Well, Smitty, we're here to hopefully, maybe, try to put a smile back on that square fucking head of yours.
Yeah. Before we do that, Dallas.
Yeah.
Bird dogs.
Bro, you put your satchel in these babies?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Comfy as fuck.
These things are fucking incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge built-in choni guy. Big built-in choni guy.
You always have been, though.
Shorts, pants, joggers. Anything you can build a pair of fucking underwear into, I am your guy. I don't wear underwear aside from articles of clothing that have it already built in. That's how I roll. So if you got shit that's already built, I am your dude. So silky, so soft, so smooth. I mean, I almost have to think twice about wearing these things going out into public because I am a married man and you just don't like to flash certain things at times. And just telling you right now, you slip these getaway sticks into a pair of bird dogs, and buddy, let me tell you, it becomes a beat sesh. They're the most comfortable things I've ever fucking worn. You realize that they stole Lululemon's designer, locked him up, and were like, "Look, make us some shit that's going to be way better than that." Got it done. Well, they're just doing it better. Carrabis. Built-in underwear, absolute game changer. Every dude needs a pair of dogs, shorts, pants, doesn't matter. This is one of the best pod promos we have ever had. Right now, you go to birddogs.com, enter promo code STARTING, okay? And Bird Dogs homies, they're going to throw in a free Bird Dogs whistle football. Just like one of them Vortex things, Nerf back in the day, no free ads. Well, they've got one with your name on it. Actually, it's with their name on it, but it's for you. So remember, birddogs.com, promo code STARTING, boom, free Bird Dogs at your door with a whistle football, with a pair of your Bird Dogs. Come on. Built-in chonies, whistle football, Bird Dogs. Does it get any better? So save 20%, promo code STARTING9 at onemolecule.com. At on molecule, not one, on molecule.com. Jared wrote that.
All right, Smitty. It's time. It is time for the Mount Rushmore segment in which we go down every team in Major League Baseball. I think we'll probably eventually even do the Expos. But now today is your day. It's the Philadelphia Phillies. And I think I want to say the first two are automatic, and then the debate is the next two. Did you give this any thought, or are you just winging this now that you're on the show?
Oh, no. I mean, you're absolutely right. The first two Mount Rushmore for Philadelphia Phillies, like you got to go Desi Relford and Wes Helms, and then everything else.
Figure it out from there.
Yeah, yes, everything else is from there. No, obviously it's Smitty and Carlton. I mean, arguably the greatest third baseman of all time. And then
I don't even think it's arguable.
You could argue for Brooks. You could argue for A-Rod a little bit. I mean, you put it out there.
What the fuck did you just say?
Scott Rowland. Ever heard of him, Dallas?
He's pretty
Jesus.
No, he's arguably the greatest. You can put Brooks in there.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
I wasn't arguing about Brooks.
And then Steve Carlton. I mean, you got him, Sandy Koufax, Randy Johnson, like 4 Cy Youngs for Carlton. You can't argue with him. Of course, they're the top two. And then it gets a little dicey, which is amazing because, like, thinking about it, the Phillies have existed since 1883, pretty long fucking time. To really only have like a dozen players and sports figures to even put in this conversation, that's pretty fucking embarrassing. But then again, that's the losingest franchise of all time for you.
That is, I think it's just because, so I think what we're going to do next year, and this is going to be far more interesting, in my opinion, is once we've established our Mount Rushmores, the tier 2 Mount Rushmore conversation is far more interesting and more of a debate for every single organization. Like there is the, for a lot of teams, Dallas and I have agreed on most teams, and then like we've maybe disagreed on like the number 4 slot. But for everything else, I mean, the tier 2 is going to be where the real debate is. So I'm excited for that. But I would say for the Phillies, this is probably one of the few organizations that we've come across where there were 2 spots open at the end that just weren't locked.
Yeah. I mean, we'll go through the names, but there are about like 10 to 12 people or figures you could put in there that like are pretty, you could switch them out. You can do
there's options. We've touched on Mike Schmidt. Mm-hmm. We've got guys like Robin Roberts, Steve Carlton, who's been mentioned, Chase Utley.
Yep.
A great Philly. Pete Alexander.
Grover Cleveland, dead ball me one time.
Ed Delonte, Richie Ashburn, Jimmy Rollins, Cole Hamels, Dick Allen, awesome hair.
Dick Allen.
Roy Halladay, R.I.P.
The tier 2 would be great.
Big Piece.
We'll get there.
Ryan Howard.
Yeah. I mean, you can throw out there Darren Dalton, the captain of the 93 team, was also on the 83 World Series team. Cole Hamels has got to be mentioned, but I mean, Jim Bunning, perfect game, Hall of Famer. I mean, he's one of you. He's one of you, Dallas. One of the 20-something, right?
Mount Rushmore, Smitty. Mount Rushmore. We can't put all these fucking faces up there. We've only got 4 spots on this mountain.
Yeah, and then Pat Burrell will
Pat the bat.
Pat Burrell will drop his nuts down on every one of those faces for a good photo op.
It's Mount Rushmore and then Pat the bat's nuts off to the side.
Yeah. So for my two, the third, in no particular order, I would go Richie Ashburn, because not only is he a Hall of Famer, granted he got in the 90s, but if you're going for overall Philadelphia Phillies sports figures, he was an announcer for 40 years. He was in our homes. He was in our lives, him and Harry Callis. And, Harry and Whitey were a staple going out there. So not only like he would arguably been in as a player only, but that announcing for 40 years, that just puts him over the top for the organization.
Okay, so there's
an interesting pick.
A little romance involved.
Yeah, this is why we have Smitty on, because I don't think either of us would even consider, like, the name would have never even come up.
Well, who's a Red Sox? Like, I know Keith Hernandez might not have made it for the Mets, but like he could arguably be in there now just for tugging at the sax strings in the booth for years.
Yeah, I feel like the Red Sox have so many historic players that I don't know what tier a broadcaster would have appeared. Like, we didn't have like our Vin Scully or like it just didn't happen that way. There was too much turnover. Like, there were guys like that for their generations, but not like all time where you could be like, this is the guy all time.
Roy Steele for the Oakland A's.
And I say Richie Ashburn is in this because of his playing ability, but I mean, Harry Callis arguably should be in there just for being who he was. If Richie Ashburn and Harry Callis can pull a nice little two-face action and share it, I think that would be the way to go. But unfortunately, one face. And then my fourth, this could change like literally any day. If you ask me tomorrow,
you're literally chiseling this into the side of a fucking mountain.
I know. Well, if you asked me yesterday, it could have been Chase Utley. You asked me tomorrow, it could have been Darren Dalton or Roy Halladay or Ryan Howard. People forget Ryan Howard from 06 to 09 had like one of the greatest offensive outputs of all time. Anybody. That's not even counting like 2010, 2011, where he was great and then just fell off the fucking map. But I'm going with the all-time leader of hits, Philadelphia Phillies, Gold Glover, Jimmy Rollins.
Good pick.
J-Roll, good pick.
Yep, there for 14 years. If you think about their little dynasty run that they had there, and I hate saying it's a dynasty because they only won one fucking World Series. Should have won at least two. Between J-Roll, Ryan Howard, Chase, and Cole, Victorino, that core worth. Jimmy's got the best shot to make the Hall of Fame, and he's been there the longest, the 14 years. He's in the booth now for the Phillies every so often. He gets the nod.
Was J-Roll second? Yeah, second in Phillies history in games played behind Mike Schmidt.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I have no qualms with Smitty's selections.
Nope.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're going figures, I mean, Philly fanatic.
Wow.
Throw that thing a bone.
So that right there, Smitty, that's an avenue that has been traveled before.
Mm-hmm.
And I have
I picked
Marlins
hard. Man is on my Mount Rushmore for the Marlins.
Shots fired, Charlie Huff.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the fanatic absolutely has a place on this Mount Rushmore.
I thought about it.
Yeah, I just don't know who to cancel out. I can't cancel out Richie, rest in peace. And, Jimmy deserves a spot up there. I mean, fanatic, shout out his friend Tom Burgoyne.
Richie, rest in peace. Richie was not in my home, and he was not in my living room. So I would have no problem replacing him with a mascot. And that is not a knock on the man or the athlete himself. That is purely him just not being a part of my life.
No.
So that's how I would make
John
that.
Kruk is basically like a Phillies mascot.
Essentially. Yeah. He's in the booth now, too. He's great. Everybody loves Krucker. Everybody loves Krucker. But Dallas, I mean, you say it's not a knock on Richie Ashburn because he's not in our home. It's definitely a knock on the Philadelphia Phillies for just not putting fucking 4 slam dunk players there just from their ability since 1883. Like, shouldn't be that hard to think just, these 4 guys.
I mean, if you're one of the forefathers, you got to have at least 4 definitive guys, right?
Exactly.
You fucking
exactly.
Think so. Well, Carrabis, who do you got? You have your 4 dialed in?
Smitty picked 3 of my 4. So I basically have 1 spot left. Where are you at? Did you, how many of Smitty's did you have?
I think 3 out of the 4, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Yeah. So I had Mike Schmidt, Steve Carlton,
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Rollins,
Uh-huh.
and my number 4. Not
It's
Nope.
not Rob.
no.
It's not. Well, then who the fuck is it?
I'm going Chase Utley here.
Chase Utley.
I'm going Chase Utley because of, like, I feel like, and we talked about this with Dr. Claw before, like how you need a representative from every run. And obviously Jimmy Rollins represents that dynasty that Smitty was just talking about. But I feel like Jimmy Rollins is also like a entire franchise representative. As we just said, he's second in franchise history in games played behind Michael Jack Schmidt. So I think for Chase Utley, I mean, like, he's just so Philly. Like he was part of that run. He was on Always Sunny. He drops the F-bombs on live TV. He is Philly. And I know that we had some other candidates that played their entire careers with the Phillies, and Chase Utley was not one of them. But what was he there for? 13 years?
He was there for a while. He came up right after Jimmy Rollins. And if you ask anybody from Philadelphia, Chase Utley probably gets that spot. Like, no question.
Chase Utley played for 16 seasons, 13 of them with the Phillies.
Yeah, if he never got hurt, he would be he'd be probably unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer.
Am I wrong? Is his career WAR higher than Derek Jeter's? Am I making that up? I might be making that up. I might be making that up.
Yeah, I don't see that. Really?
It's close. Derek Jeter, 71.3. Chase Utley, 64.5. It's close. It's within striking distance.
Yeah, you can't not be a Phillies fan and a Philadelphia fan and not absolutely love Chase Utley.
See, and I go a little different route here. Yes, Mike Schmidt. Yes, Steve Carlton. And for me, the third is J-Roll. And my fourth is Robin Roberts, to not overlook those eras. Because one thing I always try to do, like, you got to remember where you come from. You got to remember who's laid the foundation here. And it's a guy like Robin Roberts. Just because this happened in the 50s and like, that doesn't matter. All right. He was still fucking dominant. Still dominant. Still a big part of what the franchise was trying to do then and moving forward. So there's no way that I can just overlook guys who come from an older era because maybe the competition and I understand all the arguments, but we're talking about a guy, Hall of Famer, 7-time All-Star, led Major League Baseball in innings pitched from 51 to 55 every fucking year. Led MLB in wins from 52 to 55 during that stretch. Career record of 234 and 199. Not that matters as much, but I mean, an ERA, a sub 3.5 career ERA. He's got almost 4,000 fucking innings under his belt for the Phillies. Yeah, Robin Roberts, absolutely. That's my
if you were to ask any like hardcore like Philly baseball writer, like Jason Stark is from around Philly, he's putting Robin Roberts in there for sure. It's probably Schmidt, Carlton, Rollins, and Robin Roberts. That's like the hardcore baseball Mount Rushmore. Like, oh yeah, let's get it going.
Fucking Philly boy.
Yeah.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I went Richie from that era, and I am definitely not begrudging anybody who chooses Robin Roberts because he's definitely deserving. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't think there's. I love the Chase Utley pick as well.
Yeah,
I feel like you're almost like it's tough going Chase and J-Roll.
Yeah, because it is because they're from the same era, but like I'm trying to justify it by J-Roll being an all-time guy and Chase being an era guy.
Yeah. It's really a shame that Ryan Howard just completely fell off the fucking flat earth because his 5 years from 06 to 2011 and those 3 years, 06 to 09 or 4 years. I mean, they were beyond incredible.
It just felt like nobody was hitting balls as far as him to center field too.
From 2006 to 2011, he averaged 44 homers and 133 ribbies a year.
Yeah.
44 and 133.
It's a shame they just signed that contract, and then he was that bad after tearing his Achilles. Like, he was awful.
274.
That was
In
one of
comparison.
the worst.
OPS.
Like, is there not a worse time to have that injury go down?
1-0 bottom of the ninth in the playoffs, strike out, and that was a symbolic. It was symbolic. It was the end of the run. That was it.
Man,
Shame.
heartbreaker.
Shout out Chris Carpenter. Outduel Doc. Not many people can do it.
That is the Mount
wild.
Rushmore.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Smitty, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Jared, for dressing up for this presentation. I appreciate it.
Is this your first appearance on Starting Nine?
I'm trying to think. No, I did. Oh no, that was section 10. I believe this is my first appearance on Starting Nine.
Wow.
Appreciate it.
Good to have you.
No,
It's good.
anytime.
Listen, anytime the Phillies are doing something great, would love to have you back.
Great. So I'll see you in 2036. Maybe. I mean, the Braves are just so good. That's even more disheartening. Like, the Braves just turn it on and just leave us a dick in the wind. There's really no chance now.
Let it all out, Smitty.
It's out.
They have turned it.
It's
on.
out.
Yeah.
It's out.
Now I gotta go hug my kid.
Go change some diapers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's
All
get
right,
to see your face.
Appreciate it, gentlemen.
All right.
See you, buddy.
We'll see you soon.
That's it.
Big Philly guy. Big molecule mattress guy too. Did you know that?
I had no idea he was a big molecule mattress guy.
Yeah, he is. I share a bed with a Pro Bowl quarterback, an Olympic swimmer, and a national women's soccer star.
That's a pretty big bed.
Allow me to explain.
Okay.
When I heard how many elite athletes sleep on molecule mattresses and call it their best sleep ever,
Yeah.
I had to order one for myself.
Understandable.
And they are spot on. I mean,
Really?
I'm no elite athlete.
No.
I did hit an all-star team in 2004. 6504, never forget, 13
Zero
strikeouts.
Evidence of that.
No, there is. We've actually tracked down people that were there that played in the game.
We haven't. I've
We
never
have
spoken to
video
those people.
confessionals. But I'm not going to say I'm an elite athlete. That's not true. Just a tremendous pitcher in my day. But I do have my sleep issues. Sleeping when it's hot. You wake up with a sore, stiff neck. It's terrible. Molecule sleep scientists literally created the world's most perfect mattress. It's unlike any other mattress in a box. It's cool to the touch, not like other foam mattresses. It has 6 times the airflow of my old mattress, so it keeps me cool all night. It has zone reflex layers that adjust with me in all my weird sleep positions, so I never awaken with a stiff neck or a sore back. And it's antimicrobial. Did you know that? Let's get that
Hold
too.
on, it was what? It was what? I think I cut out. Can you say that again?
Molecule mattress is how elite athletes and me, Jared, and Dallas get the best sleep ever.
You said anti something and then it cut out though. What was that?
It's sleep on your molecule mattress risk-free for 100 nights. If you don't have your deepest, most restorative sleep ever, it's pronounced both ways. You can return it. Visit onmolecule.com and save 20% with the promo code START.
But Jared, I'm a big anti something, and there's something about this mattress though that I think like I could be hooked, but I need to know what it's about.
Yeah. It's antibacterial, but you've gotta like spray some. You gotta spray.
I know, but
it.
bacteria can come in many different shapes and sizes. Like anti what? What was you used a specific word?
Yeah, let me spell it out for you because you obviously didn't hear me. MICROBIAL is what I said. You deaf motherfucker. Nelson Cruz is on the COVID IL. That's a big blow for the Rays. We're in first place. They're going to need that bat to get on back real soon. Hopefully Nelson Cruz gets on back real quick.
Yeah. Well, I feel like if they get some antimicrobial wipes in that clubhouse, they'll be a little better.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's not good. That's not good for Nelly. But look, what's going to be? If we're being real, 7 days, 10 days, however long.
Yeah.
That's if we're just giving this no respect, no worry whatsoever. No, I hate shit like this. I don't like to comment on it, but I think it is what it is. You just hope that there's no lingering effects. Anytime I see a COVID anything, like I don't want to get to a place where I've already like blown past the horrible shit that could be going on and could potentially happen. Like I don't want to do that. So anytime something like that, I just pray to God he's healthy. Pray to God everybody around him's healthy. Don't want horrible shit to happen where people can't play baseball.
Yep. See him back soon. This is going to be a tough subject, Dallas.
It is and it isn't. It is and it isn't. Some might say it's about time. And the departure of one Gregory Polanco closes the book on an era for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I mean, talking about the longest tenured bucko we had rolling. Since 2009, he's been a part of the fam. Problem is, the last 2 years, he's forgotten to bring his baseball bat to the field with him. And that is no way to keep your job. It's tough. It's tough. But, as I said, ultimately, this is an era that has come and gone. The Ben Cherington era is upon us. So,
Ben's a smart guy. Trust in
What's
Ben.
that?
Ben is a very smart guy.
Yeah, these are just moves that, whether he was hitting or playing even a little better, you're going to have some kickback. Folks are not going to be happy just because of maybe what it's, I don't know. They're holding on to shit from the past. But really, what is there to hold on to? This is just, it's something that was bound to happen. It was coming. And the move got made. It is what it is. It's a
Are you sad
day.
at all?
Yes and no, because, I mean, the dude showed flashes of being a freak. Like, ridiculous defense, was going to, might have some pop, and it just never, for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe it did take off, and because they didn't have success as a club, you're not really, it's just a fucked situation.
It's not great. Not great. Sorry for all the Pittsburgh Pirates fans out there. We already talked about Bohm with Smitty. What you got on your boy Darno?
Bread him up. Bread him up. Why not? Why not? I think right now is as good a time as any to take stock of core guys you think can be a part of what you're trying to build and continue to build on. And in a season where you don't have one of your lead horses on the mound, in a season where you're going to ask some guys in your lineup to do a little more offensively because you're light, when you're getting the production and you're getting what you're expecting from a guy in Travis d'Arnaud, then why would you not make sure he knows how you feel about him and give him the opportunity to further entrench himself in the culture you're trying to create?
You got to reward your guys. You got to reward your guys. You build a core, you have success with said core, and then you bred up the guys that perform well. That are still, I mean, you don't want to handcuff yourself. I mean, we've seen it in the past with certain organizations. You win a championship, and then you pay some guys on the downside of their careers just because they're fan favorites or whatever, and then you get stuck with shit production at a high rate. But in the Braves position, which is why I still think that they'll do the right thing with Freddie Freeman. I'm just surprised it hasn't happened yet and that they've let it go this far. But I still think that at the end of the day, they'll bring back Freddie Freeman. You identify your guys. You say, this is our core. This is who we believe in moving forward to sustain the success. And it sends a message to guys coming up through the organization. You come up, you perform well, you get paid. You stay right here.
Freddie Freeman's name is a name that guys that Atlanta fans are throwing around as somebody that needs to be traded to help supplement what they're wanting to do in the future. Like I don't know why Freddie Freeman is a guy you don't want to lock up. I don't know why that would either.
They have to.
I don't know. The thing about d'Arnaud, though, and again, going back to the Oakland A's, they signed Yan Gomes for this half season. But the impact that's going to have and has already had on Sean Murphy, the A's young backstop, who they look to have for the future, that can't be understated. So for Travis d'Arnaud, who, remember, this dude was down for 2-3 months with a jacked up thumb, had some torn ligaments in his thumb. Yep. But it's about the impact he is going to be able to have on some of their younger dudes. William Contreras, Shea Langeliers, these are guys that are hopefully going to be a part of their future. So what better way to give them an inside track than having a guy that they can use as a sounding board in Travis d'Arnaud at the big league level?
Smart choice.
Keep d'Arnaud around for a couple more years, let him kind of ease those guys into the big league life, and everybody wins.
Final thoughts before we get out of here?
Ooh.
Any series you like this week? My phone just thought I said Siri. No, bitch. I ain't talking to you. White Sox, Blue Jays will be good. Manoah, Lynn tonight.
Let's take some stock of where we're at in the that Mets gauntlet. Are they on the tail end of that gauntlet?
No.
They got more left.
They're just fucking wearing it. They've got a little bit of a breather coming up because they're playing. They've got the Nats. Well, right now, so they're off today, Monday. Then they've got a 3-piece with the Giants, and then this weekend they've got the Nats and then the Marlins.
We got a light load
and then
today.
The Nats again, yeah. So they're kind of at the end of it after Thursday.
Light load today. Yeah, A's take on the Mariners for a quick 2-game set. Red Sox, Rangers are already playing right now. Sox up 2-0. Mm-hmm. That'll probably change. Diamondbacks,
they'll
Pirates.
probably score more runs. Yeah, Giants, Mets will be good. Yankees, Braves is the series to watch, though. I mean, let's be honest. A couple of teams that are red hot in their respective leagues going head-to-head. And then another great series. Don't sleep on this series, Dallas. And there's 2 series, obviously, that we need to highlight. But don't sleep on this series. Reds, Brewers.
Mm-hmm.
That is... I mean, you want to say the Reds are a fraud team? You want to say that they've had a patty cake schedule? We'll find out.
You highlighted their schedule, not me.
No, you did.
I
said,
just asked.
You said who they play. You said they had a patty. You said that they haven't played a good team in a month. That's what you said.
I don't think those were my exact words.
You called them word for word. You said the Cincinnati Reds are frauds. Dallas Braden.
I feel like you didn't want to dive into many of the details about their schedule, and that's okay. That's fine. You're a face value type of fan. And
also, I think it's wild that here we are highlighting these series to pay attention to. One of the last ones, it's become like an oh by the way. Dodgers Padres. That was can't miss. Now it's kind of like,
well, and there's nobody to blame but the Padres for that.
Yep.
You know what? This is why baseball is so fun when it gets to the cyclical things like rivalries and staying power in a division, because you give the Padres a guy like Fernando Tatis Jr. a couple years ago, let him burst onto the scene, doing all the cool shit he's been doing, and Padres start to win ball games. They start to make moves, bring guys in. They're plucking Cy Youngs from other organizations. And you're going, well, fuck. Looks like the Padres are here to play in this sandbox for the foreseeable future. They're no longer just going to be waiting on the outside for the Giants and the Dodgers to get done playing so that they can build their sandcastle. They're now coming in, stepping on kids' sandcastles, saying, fuck you, I want to play too. Well, it kind of feels like the San Diego Padres have now been picked up, taken out of that sandbox, forced to go clean themselves off, maybe get a little juice box and take a nap, and come back with a little bit better attitude. Then they'll be let back in the sandbox. Yeah. That's what this skid right now has done in the rivalry pantheon, the conversation we have about Dodgers-Padres rivalry being a little more heated than the Dodgers-Giants rivalry. Well, all it's going to take is for the series to come back around, Dodgers, Giants, you realize what the separation is, and that rivalry heats all the way the fuck back up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying it's dead.
Oh, no.
I am just highlighting how a lot of the buzz has been taken out of it because of the Padres shitting the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Not shit. I don't even want to say they shit the bed. Like they're a fucking game out of a playoff spot, but they have been playing subpar baseball for about a month now.
And that is, in my opinion, the definition of shitting the bed. Like you can't just.
Yeah, but you can't say that they tanked because they've never been in first or even threatened for it. It's been Dodgers Giants all fucking year.
Yeah, they've been scrapping the whole year.
They shit the bed on a wild card spot, no doubt. I mean,
it has been a dogfight.
It's been a 7-game
long.
swing with them and the Reds.
Yeah, this doesn't change.
Nope. You got anything to say about your Cardinals? They're just kind of hanging there.
Yeah, there's not much going on. There's not much to. It just feels like a very blasé time period right now.
I mean, they got Jack Flaherty back. He's made 2 starts. I think he's got his 3rd one coming up.
2 or 3.
Yeah. I mean, they've kind of just they're there. They're there.
Well, I mean, like where are we? 5 out, 5, 6 out. The Cardinals from the division lead.
Oh, the division.
Or not division, from the wild card lead, I mean.
Wild card 4.5.
Yeah, they're like a half month out of the fucking division.
Yeah, no one's touching the Brew Crew. They're 12 back of the division.
Ooh, I might have to jump on the Reds wagon.
Yeah? You're going to abandon the Redbirds for the Redlegs?
Well, just maybe because there's a division in sight.
No.
7.5? I'm not counting them out.
I mean, the Brew Crew is the real deal.
Not counting them out. But, yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. Some good divisional matchups coming up this week. Enjoy the baseball. We will be back on Thursday. And hopefully we'll have some good stories to talk about. I know that there could be a lot of movement in the standings before now and then. So, best of luck. We like all your teams. Good luck to your teams.
Yes.
Go baseball.
Go baseball. We go!